Boston. It may not have been the longest home run in Fenway Park history as was originally surmised, but let's just say when Rowdy Tellez launched his latest towering home run, it appeared headed straight to New Hampshire. Originally pegged at a whopping 505 feet by Major League Baseball's StatCast calculator, and later retracted, it was still a mighty swat nonetheless. Toronto Blue Jays at Blue Jays, April 12, 2019. Ultimately it meant little, given the collapse that followed. Sure, it gave the suddenly awake Blue Jays offense a 5-0 lead, the Tellez blast coming as it did just 2 batters after Justin Smoak opened the scoring with a 3-run blast. What followed was a typical Fenway ride for the visitors, however, as the Jays squandered all 5 of those runs, then regained the lead only to see closer Ken Giles blow it in the bottom of the 9th. Ugly as it was frustrating, the blow-up became complete when a bases-loaded single by Rafael Devers brought in the winning run. After Freddie Galvis had regained the Toronto lead 6-5 with a solo homer in the 8th, Giles blew his first save in 35 attempts. The Toronto closer allowed a 1-out walk to Mookie Betts and then a double to Mitch Moreland, who hit a ball deep to center that Randall Grichuk couldn't corral to tie it at 6-6. Moreland then stole third base after J.D. Martinez and Xander Bogaerts walked to load the bases. That set the stage for a Devers single to walk it off. The loss eased some of the panic on the sporting streets of Boston, where across town the Leafs beat the Bruins 4-1 in Game 1 of their Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Here at Fenway, the World Series champion Red Sox avoided a sweep by the Jays, and split this mini 2-game series while improving to 4-9, perhaps not wanting to mess with the ghost of Ted Williams. MLB later retracted the length of the Tellez homer, eventually deciding not to quantify it. All that matters to the Jays, however, is that the shot that went deep into the right field bleachers continued the breakout of the team's offense. With 13 runs in the 2 contests here, the Jays scored more than they did in their previous 6 combined 12. The Jays now return home for a 3-game weekend series with the Tampa Bay Rays. Typical of so many games at Fenway, where not even the largest lead can be considered safe, the Jays almost let this one get away. That 5-0 lead started to fall apart in the bottom half of the 3rd when Randall Grichuk misplayed a leadoff fly ball by Mookie Betts, who scooted to first on the error. By the time the inning was done, the Sox had scored 3 unearned runs off of starter Aaron Sanchez. Sanchez was his own worst enemy in the 5th when back-to-back wild pitches allowed Xander Bogaerts. The Sox then tied it in the 8th when Mitch Moreland hit a solo homer off of Joe Biagini. Smoak show after missing 4 of the past 5 games, and 3 in a row, with neck stiffness. Smoak returned to the lineup on Thursday, hitting 3rd as DH. Beyond the pain in the neck, Smoak hates not being able to get in the lineup. The hardest part is saying I can't go, said Smoak, who is a constant in the middle of Charlie Montoyo's batting order. I don't know when the last time I said that is. It's definitely not easy. Smoak also had sympathy for some of the team's younger hitters and their early struggles. It's best that it happens early in the season, but young guys, they look up there, on the scoreboard, and they see .1, 1-2 or whatever. Smoak said. Come on, it's 3 games, you see you're not hitting and naturally you're going to press. Hopefully that's out of the way and you just keep going. Glad to be Vlad with Vlad Guerrero Jr. Making his season debut with the AAA Buffalo Bisons on Thursday, the Free Vlad movement will be picking up steam. Baseball's top-rated prospect belted an RBI double and then a blast of a line drive homer to bring in 3 more Bisons runs. The stint with the Bisons is expected to be the final step towards Guerrero's eventual Major League debut. For now, he needs at-bats, but if he continues to hit triple-A pitching like he did on Thursday, it may not be long. Buchholz is back. Standing in the visitors' dugout at Fenway was admittedly a weird feeling for pitcher Clay Buchholz, given that he was part of 2 World Series winning teams here. But being back in a Major League ballpark is a welcome feeling for the veteran right-hander, who rejoined the Blue Jays this week and will make his Jays debut in a start against the Tampa Rays on Saturday. "This is all I've ever really done," Buchholz said of the opportunity that awaits after the Jays signed him late in spring training. "It's a fortunate thing for anybody grown up and wanting to play in the big leagues and then getting the opportunity. Try to hang on as long as you can and be more good than bad. Obviously the Jays are banking on more of the good, the reason they penciled him directly into the rotation." With a late start to spring, Buchholz worked his way back into shape, most recently with a 70-pitch effort for the AAA Buffalo Bisons this past Sunday. "I had a pretty open dialogue with the whole staff," Buchholz said. "They just said they wanted me to be fully ready. We don't want to rush anything. It was good how it was handled.